Taiwan Special, episode 1 for the week. I've had some interesting experiences. Now, I live a life of coincidence, and I'm going to tell you what's been happening with myself over here in Asia and friends, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, and what it might mean for you. And so buckle your seatbelt. Honestly, I might lose a subscriber or two over this because, I don't mean to offend you. That's all right. Bless you. If you want to go on, I'm not going to hammer this stuff. But sometimes you share your opinion, the opinion that most of your close, trustworthy friends like you for, your values, what you believe. You share that with people. Some of the people who didn't really know you will leave. I've had that happen to my Taiwan YouTube channel. I'll put up a new video and I'll talk about, I'll tell people, you can make it. You can move forward. Don't let people tell you you can't. And then I'll lose subscribers. But then a few days later, I'll get some more subscribers. And it's like, wow, I don't know what they wanted in a YouTube channel, but apparently being told that they're capable isn't among the things that they're interested in. And it's like, my goodness, really? It's kind of shocking, and you kind of idiot. You want to say that, but everybody has that feeling. All right, and honestly, one of the dark. Okay, we'll talk about formatting and stuff here. I always say, it's content that brings the subscribers. It's format that keeps them. And there's a connection to that in franchising. Your business, you need to keep the same format. I just wrote an email to an app developer, my calendar app that I use, DigiCal. Wonderful little calendar app. They had an update, and the notification for an upcoming appointment changed from being a unique sound to only being able to use the system sound, the system default. I can't set a special custom notification for that. That's a problem. I don't need to have an upcoming appointment and then it give me the sound, oh, another stupid Gmail. I'll just ignore it. I don't need that sound for an appointment that I've got coming up. And that's a basic developer problem. I need things to stay the same so that it's less stuff for me to always learn. I don't need, you don't need, customers don't need, humans don't need to take time to learn just because someone rearranged the furniture. Learn something valuable, useful, new. Don't just learn the latest layout of the floor for someone that can't make up their minds. And that's one of the reasons that formatting needs to remain consistent and predictable so that people know what they're getting into. They can spend time learning the important things instead of a bunch of furniture that can't seem to figure out where it wants to go. So that's kind of a question I've got. I'm thinking about merging the Taiwan Special with maybe even The Point and the Podcast Weekly and just making it simpler. But the problem is I'm still trying to figure out what I do as a podcaster. So having the Podcast Weekly on Mondays and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Taiwan Special, and then maybe a special feature Friday once in a while, and then wrapping The Point and the columns from Pacific Times into it, and then having those as separate and then all together as an all podcast. That's what I've got now. That's the best way I can be consistent for you while I'm still figuring myself out. Okay. Why was I talking about consistency? I know it related to something, but as I said, I've got my things that I deal with in my life. And as I'm telling you how I live my life, that might not jive with you. And you've been warned. And I'm not trying to offend you. And I'm not going to bring up stuff like this again and again and again if it bothers you and you decide you want to stick around. Because, if I find that I disagree with someone about something, I don't hammer it. You disagree with someone. Okay, we disagree about that. I don't agree to disagree. I agree that we disagree. Why would anyone? Hey, what are we going to do today? Let's disagree. I agree to disagree. I agree that we disagree. And with that being said, I live my life and I watch for the coincidences. And I think there was a life coaching certification that I was getting where the guy talks about coincidences in life. I can't think of what it's this awesome Hispanic guy who has pretty good Spanglish. I wish I was that bilingual, but he's got like a PhD. This guy's brilliant. And he's got this Caucasian blonde wife, and they do life coaching together. And coincidences were one of the things they talk about. And I'm like, I just always paid attention. I didn't know that was something you could actually put words to. And so when I see stuff, when I see trends in my own life, and then I see them in the larger scale, I perk up and pay attention. I keep my eyes open. I sit up straight. I turn down the music and the noise, and I listen, and I become attentive. I don't just go, that's funny, and then just move on. Because I do believe that, if it's just luck and meaningless, then it's going to be a pattern that continues to be lucky and meaningless, and I want to flow with the pattern. I want to be good at this life thing that we're all living. I want to be good in my part. So when I'm on my way to the store to buy milk, what happened this week, and I run into 5 people on the way. First one I don't know, second one I do know, third one I met way back, fourth one messages me, and then the last one another person I don't know, and they all have a problem because someone rejected them. I talked about this a little bit in the podcast weekly, It's like, the boss that fired the guy, I know the boss. Okay, the spouse that's divorcing him, I know the spouse and the family. When it's the car that got blew up, I know the car. I've ridden in the car. I've told the person to change the oil more often. The business that got shut down. In fact, I actually did run into one of those a while back, literally. I'm just realized now how often this has been going on. There was a business guy I talked to. He couldn't get he couldn't figure out how to get customers. He was all focused on folding the napkins ultra nice at this cheap and expensive restaurant. His wife went back to her hometown. That means she left him and went to live with her mother. And in this guy's all angry about little things that don't matter. He can't make his food the same way twice, 2 days in a row, because he's always got to find something different to make it better. And then, I tell him, okay, you've got a little shrine to a Taoist god over there. Maybe you should pull that out. I'm going to tell you right now, as a Christian, I think that's cursing your business. My opinion, I don't need to press it with you. I don't press it when I disagree with people, just letting you know. Gets all angry. I don't believe in that shrine. I don't even believe in the gods, but other people do. And I'm like, so if you don't believe in it, then you do need to get rid of it, because religion is about what you truly believe. You don't copy someone else's religion. That's an insult to the religion. You're supposed to exercise a religion because you believe in it. If you're just copying someone else's religion, you'll offend the true believers of that religion. And he's so angry at me because I'm not being tolerant. And I'm going, oh my, if this guy's so mentally constipated, what else if he can't let go of a God that he doesn't believe in, what else can't he let go of that's holding his business back? And I look at this and I'm like, his wife's not here anymore. His landlord doesn't like him. And he's folding the napkins extra super nice when they don't even do that at expensive restaurants. And this isn't an expensive restaurant. He changes the menu constantly so the customers don't know what to order every time they show up. And now he's all angry at the idea of removing an idol of a god that he believes is fake because he wants to keep it. there's been a long list of things that this guy's been doing in his life, and that's the reason his business is having trouble. And all the other people that I've talked with, all the other people that I've been dealing with, I know the boss, I know the spouse's family and the in-laws, I know the car that blew up, I know the mechanic, the mechanic's a friend of mine. I know what's going on, and every one of these people, or maybe I don't know and I have to go find out, like the boss, like I meet someone I don't know, but then of course the boss is like one of my really good friends. And like, whoa, really? You know, it's like, you know that guy? It's like, that's Jesse's world. That's just, that's my normal. I stopped getting surprised at that stuff a long time ago. I've just had to accept that that's what life's going to be. It's not all the time, but it's goodness frequent. It's too much to if I was surprised at that kind of stuff, I wouldn't get anything else done. I don't have time to be surprised it happens that much. Not all the time, but that much. So I'm, nothing happens all the time. Just, sometimes people need to know that. That guy on TV, he says it happens all the time. No, not all the time. It happens frequently, and that's your experience, and that's other people's experience, and you are normal in this. Don't, the Apostle Paul, I think in all of his prophetic life, I mean, he only had a vision of Jesus once, maybe twice. John, only once. The book of Revelation, he was like 90 years old or something. No, he would have been like 70. So it's like, AD 90, and then John knew Jesus as a teenager. Okay, so how old would John have been? Jesus was, the years were as old as Jesus. Hold on, I need to drink some of this. Marco Rubio moment. So I'm looking at all this, and the thing that I have to, all these people that I meet and all the circumstances of, I know this guy, I know that guy, every one of these people, they've got a long pile of problems that have built up. And the last straw that brought it all crashing down for them, and it didn't end their lives. It ended that project, and they've lost a bunch, and they're going to have to go somewhere else and rebuild. Life goes on after the divorce. It's not happy, but it does go on. And you've got to grow up, or at least look in the mirror every day and tell yourself to grow up, which is really what being grown up means. You never actually do it. You just learn to tell yourself to do it. And so they go, they've gone from this to that, and they're telling me, I need help. I gotta get a new job. I gotta get a new car, whatever it is. I've got to move out of the house because my wife left me, I'm like, well, I know a guy I know a car shop. Oh, some friend's got a car for sale. Oh, I saw a house, for rent, maybe, like, I'm not sure, and I find out what's going on. And the last straw was always something super, super, super easy. It was like no-brainerville. It was like anybody could get that right. And the people that they had the falling out with are so forgiving that even with that last mistake, they would have been glad to forgive the person had it not been for the long train that came before it. And it comes to that point where the gavel's got to fall. And the judge has to swing it and pound, boom, the court's decided. It gets to that point. And it was that last final decision that makes you go, this wasn't a surprise. People aren't just being mean to you. So I'm the guy. This is my point in all this. And I'll explain how this ties into China and Asia tomorrow. I guess I'll have to do another day. I always go over. I'm the guy that has to explain that to the person again and again and again and again. I see it, and I'm the guy that, I'm not the one deciding it. I'm the one that has to explain it to the person. Now, the thing is, it doesn't only stop with me and my friends. It goes deeper. And I have a feeling it does with you too. But we'll cover more about that. We'll cover more of that tomorrow.